Say yes to new beginnings.
Yes.
Say yes to new standards of excellence.
Yes.
Say yes to engaging reportage with a difference.
Yes.
Introducing Yes International Magazine.
So what stands you out as a broadcaster? What distinguishes you from the other broadcasters?
I wouldn't want to blow my trumpet, really. I would rather leave it for people who have known me since 1993, since 1993, in fact 1992. But in 1993, during the Abiola saga, the June 12, I think that was when it all began. Again, channels had just come up then, and we wanted to prove that we are able to do what other media houses in other parts of the world were doing. So I think it's the passion. I take my work seriously. I really take my work seriously. I like to do my things, believing that after I've done it, no one will do it again. And I like to be perfect in doing my work and not take my audience for granted. And if you have a background, your foundation from channels television, chances are that you'll always stand out in what you do because of the high level of professionalism, integrity, that are the guiding principles of what we do here. You would never go wrong. But really, my passion, and is what has kept me going.
I need you to revisit the first time you went on air, and maybe I don't know whether there was any memorable thing that happened on that day that you can still recollect.
Oh well, I was embarrassed the first time I went on air. I think it was 1994 or so, and in fact, in channels I had a program called The Big Story. I had The Big Story. I actually also presented Politics Today, Business Incorporated. Yeah, I was the Controller News Chief Correspondent and all of that. So from the newsroom to outside of the newsroom location and all of that. One of those days, the early days, I was to read news. I think it was 7 o'clock news. So my prompter failed. And then, you had to operate the prompter yourself, right? So I was a greenhorn. My prompter failed. I didn't know what to do, whether to go back to the script or to ensure that the prompter was up and running. But I heard from my director, go to your script, go to the script. So by the time I got down to the script, I had skipped about two paragraphs, of the story I was reading. And I had to take it all over again. It was quite embarrassing, but again, I was told that was baptism of fire, So that was the first embarrassment I had. But again, it was a learning curve. We always make mistakes, but mistakes are good, yeah, because they propel you to want to be better, to prepare more, because they would always occur. But if you're quite prepared, chances are that you would minimize such mistakes when they occur. And when they do happen, move on. Just move on.
So far, when would you describe as your best day on air?
My best day on air was, there are several best days, really. But I think it was...
I need one.
No.
I need one.
So you're putting me on the spot now. You try to put me on the spot.
I need one.
The day Abiola died was my best day in terms of reporting from location, because I had been with him the day he declared, all till the day he was buried, right? So I encapsulated all of the experiences and everything that has happened. But to crown it all, on the night after his burial, I went back to his house at about 9 p.m. And channels actually pioneered the news at 10. Those days, people believe that news at 10 o'clock, nobody watches it. But we pioneered it. Anyway, So I got to Abiola's house at 9 p.m. and I wanted to do a piece to come. And there was sound of silence because everybody had left. And that was how I started that, my piece to come. But I could hear the croaking of the frog there in the gutter, and I looked up. The moon was already going into the cloud, that ultimately cast sort of shadow, on the environment. And I tried to capture that as signifying what has happened to Nigeria's political space. And when I finished it, I rushed back to the station, and that became the last story of the day. And of course, with the moon coming to an end, the moon, being beclouded, I signed off, and then we went to black. For me, that was very memorable, and I always cherish it.